there's been this real power in being able to visualize all of the things that you were telling yourself you needed to get done and the amount of space it gives you to show up every day from a clear mind. Welcome to Highly Inquisitive, the community where we change the way women with bold dreams chase after them. I'm your host, Gabs, and I'm obsessed with sharing the strategies, tactics, and permission you need to boldly chase your dreams. In just 10 minutes each week, you'll gain the confidence and clarity to turn your wildest dreams into reality. Ready for a life that's more fun, less stressful, and designed for you to be your best self? Let's do it. Okay, this week we're getting tactical. I'm really excited to share this with you because I learned it many, many years ago, and it is still my tried and true way to stop overthinking and start living. So if you are not an overthinker, if you are not someone who struggles with having things circle and swirl in your head forever and ever, this episode may not be for you. But for those of us who can play something again and again and again in our head, and in particular when it comes to a to-do list, we just keep cycling through it in our head over and over and over, this episode's for you. I want to share with you about brain dumping. This is that tried and true method that I go back to. I have a massive whiteboard in my office that's literally just labeled brain dump and stand up, because that's how I manage my day to day, is getting all of these items out of my head. So it can be little things like call and schedule a doctor's appointment. It can be massive things like sit and brainstorm out an entire new service offering. Whatever it may be, I have learned I am not at my best self when I walk around with all of the things that I could, should, would be doing in my head alone. It is taking up too much freaking brain space. I recently shared something on Instagram and LinkedIn around the sabbatical that I'm on right now, which you can have all the details that I'm keeping everyone up to date on the sabbatical in the Balance is Bullshit newsletter. So I'll make sure that that is in the show notes so you can join me on that sabbatical journey, because this time it's not about working on the business, but it's about learning to be present in my life and where I'm at right now with my family, with myself, with the world that I'm living in. Because I recently shared in this post, I am so addicted to stressing about the things that didn't get done on my to-do list and allowing the things that I want to do and things that are on my, virtual to-do list or in my mental to-do list to consume me. And so it has forced me to not be present in the moment. And so that's something I'm really working on right now. And that's why I felt it really important to share the strategy and the actual tactics behind using this brain dump method, because it's really helping in this moment and during this sabbatical. And so I want to make sure that you have this tool in your toolkit too. So grab that pen and paper, and I want you to get in a state of mind that helps you feel free flowing. For me, it is usually a quiet space with instrumental music that does not have words, so that way I can just hear my own thoughts. I want you to just free flow on this paper. No scratching things out, no prioritizing things, no putting due dates on them, no going to do the things as you write them down, but just literally empty your brain onto this paper. So it's all of the things that you could be doing, no matter how big or small, put it on the paper. Next, I want you to go through and categorize these things. So for me, my categories usually look like a category for each of the businesses that I own, plus a category for me and my best self, and then a category for like our home and our family. and go back through, whether that's cute highlighters or rewriting them into new sections of the page that feel categorized, whatever makes that movement feel best to you. Get all of these items in a category. And then inside of each category, I want you to go back through and call out the things that have due dates that cannot be moved. So like, for example, the mortgage needs to be paid at a certain time every month, so I can't really flex and change that due date. But when I choose to launch a new service, that due date is up for me to choose. So those are the kind of things that I want you to look at. Are there things that have strict due dates that need to be written down? Great. So now we're going to work backwards from that and only schedule the things that you have room to fit into your days. And then use the rest of the brain dump list as a place to grab things if you're really crushing it on a good day. So for example, what I have found works best for me, and I think a planner that I ran by one day in a store, this planner only had room for the top 3 things every day. And that has been such a game changer for me because 1, I'm setting myself up for success. Whereas old me used to put 8, 9, 10 things on the to-do list every day, never got any of them done, and then was in this perpetual cycle of beating myself up for never getting enough done and always feeling behind. Now what I have found is I put 3 things a day that are either have an unmovable due date or I feel like are high priority to making progress towards the goals that I'm actively working on and the dreams that I'm actively chasing. And then what I have found is I get those 3 things done almost every day now. And I often am in such a place where I have time and space to pick up other things from the brain dump list. So basically it becomes this place that you can go grab quick things and knock them out if you're really in a good mood or really getting things done that day or find extra time in your schedule. Like say a meeting cancels, now you can go pick up something to do. And what you'll find is I started accomplishing so much more when I wasn't just running around with this list in my head or this perpetual list of trying to do the most things every day. But also the other thing is I found so many times there are things on my brain dump list that never even have to get done. Either I delegate it to someone else that I would have only ever decided I needed to do it if it was in my head, but I can delegate it to someone else. Or there's times when time just passes and I don't need to do it. Like mop the floors. Oh, missed it this week. It's going to come around next week. Like that's not the end of the world. And so there's been this real power in being able to visualize all of the things that you were telling yourself you needed to get done. And the amount of space it gives you to show up every day from a clear mind. So I encourage you, if right now is not the best time, give it a try this week. Find a good piece of paper. If you're like me and get yourself a new notebook and new pens, like that is all I need to ever sit down and feel like my brain is running in a much better pace. But grab some time, sit down, get all of these things out of your head, get them onto a piece of paper, and then start to shuffle them around and categorize them as needed. But you will be amazed. And when you give yourself that much space and clarity in your mind, how clear you show up towards chasing your dreams every day. Can't wait to hear how brain dumping works for you. It is one of my favorite tools, and I'm so excited for you to give it a try. Remember, friend, life's messy, balance is bullshit, and your dreams are totally within reach. Grab a friend, share this episode, and start brainstorming those biggest, boldest dreams together. Brainstorm Battle Buddies are my secret to a life where survival is a skill set and not a way of living. Need a brainstorm battle buddy? It's honestly the favorite title I've ever had. Grab time with me at the link in the show notes for a free brainstorming session together. Catch you next week for another 10 minutes of real talk on Highly Inquisitive. Love you big, Gabs.